Will Carlos Alcaraz withdraw from the US Open mixed event before it even starts? The anticipated participation of Spanish tennis star Carlos Alcaraz alongside Emma Raducanu has caused a stir on social media, but voices within the circuit are casting doubt on whether the event will actually feature its big-name stars. Is it a real tournament? Or just a marketing stunt? The format, timing, and rules of the new mixed event are fueling debate. While fans are getting excited, experts like coach Barry Flucher are voicing harsh criticism, focusing on what could be just a big show. Will the stars really dare to play? Carlos Alcaraz and Emma Raducanu were announced as one of the star pairs of the new US Open mixed tournament, scheduled for August 19th to 20th, just before the official start of the Grand Slam. The news was welcomed with enthusiasm by tennis fans, as it brings together two of the most popular young talents on the circuit. However, that excitement may be short-lived. According to coach Barry Flucher, the whole thing might just be a promotional spectacle, with no guarantee the big names will actually compete. Barry Flucher, coach of recent Wimbledon men's doubles champion Julian Cash, strongly criticized the organization of the event. He stated that the lineup featuring stars like Alcaraz, Raducanu, Djokovic, or Sinner was created just to generate buzz. According to him, there's no contractual obligation guaranteeing their actual presence on court. His statement sparked controversy and added to the suspicion that we may never see the stars participate, and that they might withdraw before even debuting. Alcaraz himself is coming off an extremely intense season, with multiple titles and a considerable physical workload. The young Spaniard has remained a top figure in both Grand Slams and ATP events. For a player with clear ambitions in the US Open singles draw, participating in an experimental mixed tournament could be an unnecessary risk. This further fuels speculation about a strategic withdrawal to protect his body and focus on what truly matters. The new mixed tournament proposes a completely different format from traditional tennis: sets to 4 games, no advantages, and a 10-point super tiebreaker as a third set if needed. It will also be played in the US Open's biggest stadiums, Arthur Ashe and Louis Armstrong, and will award $1 million to the winning pair. While this may sound tempting, for top stars money isn't always the main incentive, especially just days before one of the year's most important tournaments. Flucher also criticized the focus of the event, which he described as a show disguised as competition. According to him, this was a great opportunity to organize a serious mixed tournament with clear rules and real sporting goals. However, he claims the organizers prioritized spectacle over the seriousness that could have elevated the format. In his words, what we'll see will be more of a celebrity parade than a high-level tournament. Doubts surrounding the participation of Alcaraz, Raducanu, and other stars are creating an atmosphere of uncertainty. Neither the ATP nor the US Open organizers have confirmed whether the announced players have any formal commitment to play. So far, there's only a published list, with no official statements guaranteeing their real presence. All this suggests that the hype may just be part of a publicity strategy to sell tickets and draw viewers before the main event. The tournament's timing doesn't help clear the doubts either. It will take place just days before the US Open main draw kicks off, a Grand Slam that demands peak physical and mental condition. Taking part in a side event right before it could affect players' preparation, increase the risk of injury, or simply create unnecessary distractions. For elite players like Alcaraz or Djokovic, those factors carry a lot more weight than the potential spectacle. Emma Raducanu, for her part, has had a season marked by ups and downs and injuries, so her inclusion in this tournament also raises questions. While she's shown a desire to return to her best level, risking participation in an experimental event with unusual rules and a demanding pace could complicate her recovery. Her name, alongside Alcaraz's, was key to drawing media attention, but neither she nor her team have publicly confirmed that they'll definitely play. Flucher warns that many of the announced pairs may never set foot on the court. In his words, they've already fulfilled their main role, grabbing public and media attention. He even suggested that some withdrawals may already be planned but will be announced at the last minute so as not to disrupt the event's promotion. This tactic is nothing new in the sports world, where high-profile names are often used as bait, even if their participation is never guaranteed. The playing format has also been controversial. By limiting sets to 4 games and eliminating advantages, the traditional dynamic of tennis is significantly altered. While the intention is to make matches faster and more appealing, it also completely changes how strategies are developed. Some experts see it as a good way to attract new audiences, but others consider it disrespectful to the original format of competitive tennis. Among the 16 announced pairs are other intriguing combinations like Sinner with Emma Navarro and Novak Djokovic with Olga Danilovic. These duos combine talent and charisma, but they too are shrouded in doubt. Flucher insists that most of these stars will pull out before playing, whether for strategic reasons, physical concerns, or simply lack of genuine interest. If that happens, the event risks losing all relevance. Regardless of what ends up happening, the US Open Mixed Tournament has already achieved one goal: generating conversation. But if the main stars don't participate, many will be left disappointed. Tennis is in a transitional phase, seeking new ways to reach younger audiences without losing the essence of the sport. The success or failure of this event could determine the future of similar experiments on the professional circuit. The possible absence of Carlos Alcaraz from the new US Open Mixed Tournament has sparked intense controversy. The statements by coach Barry Flucher, the proximity to the start of the Grand Slam, and the unconventional format all fuel suspicions that the promised show may not materialize. The stars are on the posters, but will they actually be on court? This experimental event aims to attract attention and open new doors within professional tennis, but its credibility depends on the real participation of its biggest stars. If Alcaraz, Raducanu, and company don't show up, the tournament could be exposed as just another marketing campaign rather than a legitimate competition. Can a 22-year-old rewrite tennis history? Carlos Alcaraz, the prodigy from Murcia, has stopped being the future to become the most impactful present this sport has seen in years. With an explosive combination of talent, mentality, and results, the young Spaniard is shaking up the record books. In just 6 seasons, Alcaraz has achieved what others took decades to build. How is it possible that he's already among the most financially successful tennis players of all time? Stay with us and discover why Carlos Alcaraz's rise is unprecedented. Carlos Alcaraz has done the unthinkable, earning over €40 million in prize money just 6 years after turning pro. This figure becomes even more astonishing when compared to legends like Novak Djokovic, Rafael Nadal, or Roger Federer, who took over 20 years to reach those numbers. The Mercian is already the 7th highest earning tennis player in history, a feat that speaks both to his talent and the commercial moment tennis is going through. His ability to perform on all surfaces has made him nearly unbeatable, cementing his place in the elite. The year 2025 is turning out to be particularly dazzling for Alcaraz. So far, no other player has earned more prize money this season, not even world number 1 Jannik Sinner. With 5 titles under his belt and a runner-up finish at Wimbledon, Alcaraz has collected €8.21 million in 2025 alone. This includes the Masters 1000 titles in Rome and Monte Carlo, Roland Garros, and 2 ATP 500 titles. His consistency is key. He performs well on grass, clay, and hard courts, something only true champions can do. At Roland Garros, one of the calendar's most prestigious tournaments, Alcaraz was crowned champion and added €2.55 million to his account. He also lifted trophies in Rome and Monte Carlo, each netting nearly €1 million. But he didn't stop there. He also shone at the ATP 500 events in Queens and Rotterdam, winning $500,000 at each. Adding to that is his electrifying final at Wimbledon, where, despite losing to Sinner, he earned €1.77 million, proving that even in defeat, he keeps racking up success. But beyond the money, what's truly impressive is his competitive maturity. Carlos already has 21 titles across all surfaces and a total of 257 professional wins. His evolution has been rapid, and each match reinforces the idea that we're witnessing the birth of a legend. This combination of youth, accumulated experience, and hunger for glory makes him a terrifying opponent for anyone. It's no coincidence that he's setting the pace in nearly every major tournament on the circuit. One of the most exciting elements of this new era in tennis is the rivalry between Carlos Alcaraz and Jannik Sinner. Both young, both brilliant, they're sharing the spotlight in the biggest finals around the world. In 2025, Sinner has earned €7.28 million in prize money, just slightly less than Alcaraz. This rivalry not only raises the level of men's tennis but also reminds fans of the epic battles between Federer, Nadal, and Djokovic at their peak. Their frequent appearances in the decisive rounds of the world's biggest tournaments add to a thrilling narrative. Every time they face off, it's guaranteed entertainment. The Alcaraz-Sinner rivalry is already one of the most exciting in modern sports and promises to continue for many years. Each match between them writes a new chapter in this golden era of contemporary tennis, while crowds go wild at every point. What sets Carlos Alcaraz apart is not just his ability to win but his capacity to adapt to every surface with surprising ease. His clay court technique echoes Nadal, his hard court speed resembles Djokovic, and his aggression on grass brings to mind Federer. This blend makes him a complete, versatile player, tough to figure out for any opponent. His physical and mental preparation is another strength. He always seems one step ahead, in both strategy and execution. In the women's circuit, the competition is just as fierce. Female players are fighting for increasingly equitable prize money, and in 2025 some have reached impressive earnings. Belarusian Aryna Sabalenka leads the WTA with €5.78 million earned this season. She's followed by Iga Swiatek, Coco Gauff, and young sensation Mira Andreeva, proving that women's tennis is also in a vibrant era, with rising stars and established champions. The financial growth of tennis in recent years has led to significant increases in prize money, especially in major tournaments. This partly explains how Alcaraz has climbed so high so quickly. But winning remains the hardest part. The Mercian doesn't just enter these tournaments, he dominates them. His Masters 1000 and Grand Slam titles bring him not just money, but prestige, ranking points, and a growing reputation that intimidates his rivals. Experts are already comparing Carlos Alcaraz's rise to the meteoric starts of the sport's greatest players. His youth allows for the projection of a long, successful career, and if he keeps up this pace, he could break records that today seem untouchable. Surpassing Djokovic's $160 million or Nadal and Federer's $110 million no longer sounds impossible. In fact, many believe it's just a matter of time. What's most exciting is that this is only the beginning. The most striking part of this story is that Carlos remains grounded. His humility, support team, and family environment have been key to maintaining his focus. He hasn't let fame or money distract him from his main goal, to be the best in the world. Every victory seems to motivate him more, and every loss makes him stronger. That champion mindset is what sets him apart and positions him as the true heir to tennis's golden era. While no one can predict the future with certainty, all signs point to Carlos Alcaraz becoming one of the most important names in tennis history. His present is already extraordinary, and his future seems limitless. The combination of talent, youth, discipline, and ambition is rarely seen in a single athlete. We are witnessing a special era, led by a young man who has not yet reached his peak and still has so much to offer the sports world. Carlos Alcaraz has broken through the barriers of time and logic in professional tennis. At just 22 years old, he has not only conquered titles and millions, but also the hearts of fans and the respect of his rivals. His ability to perform at the highest level on all surfaces, combined with a steely mindset, makes him a central figure in today's tennis. The rivalry with Jannik Sinner, the rising competition in women's tennis, and the evolution of prize money on the circuit all contribute to this historic moment for the sport. Alcaraz is not just part of this era, he's defining it. And the most exciting part? We're only just beginning to see what he's capable of.